Uh, Hi guys. So I hope that you've had a good Anzac weekend. It's a beautiful day, eh? So what I wanted to share with you today was how to structure the writing of each of your approaches. And today I've chosen to take an exemplar from a student from last year of the behaviourist approach, just because we've talked a lot about biological. So I wanted to show it to you with a different approach. Um, this exemplar is available in your exemplars folder as well. Okay, so this is the structure, how to structure and how to write. And this exemplar is really clear, and this student got an excellence as well. So just to reinforce to you that it does not have to be endless quantity to get an excellence, but it's about what you're writing and the quality of what you're writing. So I've highlighted a bit for you as well. Okay, so obviously title. Now the orange highlighting, okay, shows you really clearly how the student here has stated what the behaviorist approach is. And what I want you to notice, okay, is the way that she uses really short sentences, okay, because the other um, exemplars use quite long sentences, and that can be quite hard when we're writing. Okay, so I want you to notice the way that she uses really straightforward, short sentences. The behaviorist approach relies on research studies and lab conditions. Full stop. It is different from other approaches, which is great because she's saying, okay, I've done the biological one. Now, how is this different? As it views humans and animals as products of their environment. Full stop. It reinforces that we are controlled by our environment and that we can only be what we've learned from that environment. Full stop. Okay, so short sentences are a really good way of stating each point. And I want you to notice the little one here. And I've made a little comment on the side, but the little one here is her first footnote, okay, where she has made a footnote to the source. Now, that doesn't mean that she's copied this from the source, because if she copied it, she would need to put it in inverted commas and it wouldn't be her writing, but she references the source that she used to get those ideas. So you can go down and have a look at that in the footnote on her page. Okay, that might, there it is, simply https www.simplypsychology.org. Okay, and the very name of that helps you to see that that's probably a really good place to go and have a look, because it's really simple and straightforward. We don't need to make this really complicated. Right, the next thing that I've highlighted for you, okay, is the importance of organizing your work. Okay, organize your work with headings. It'll make it much easier for you to follow and for your reader to follow. Really important. And you'll also notice where I have highlighted in blue references to a psychologist. So that's really important. Okay, this student has used pictures to support her words. These pictures come from our slides. Okay, they're not going to make your writing a merit or an excellence or better because the pictures are there. However, the pictures are a great way of supporting what you want to say and showing that you've looked at the work that we've got. And again, you'll notice the footnote. Okay, so look at these footnotes and see what sources you could look at as well. So that's really important. So she's given some images and ideas to support. What I'm interested about too is that she's organized her paragraphs. So she says there are two main parts of the behaviorist approach. So she's said, I'm going to talk about one and then I'm going to talk about the other. Okay, so I can really follow her thinking really clearly, and that's really important to try to keep it really organized you could almost structure your paragraph with headings and then go and fill each heading in. That might work for you rather than just trying to write it. Okay, lastly, okay, and she does a little bit more about psychologists here, and I've highlighted those in blue. But the last thing that I want you to have a look at, okay, is the way she uses bullet points, particularly when she wants to do key assumptions, which are further up, she's done those, or weaknesses and strengths, okay? So if you're doing a list, like key assumptions or weaknesses and strengths, then again, I want you to look at bullet pointing. Okay, the behaviorist approach looks at addiction through such means as conditioning, but acknowledges anything else beyond the surface. This saves you having to write really complicated sentences and long paragraphs. And she's bullet pointed each of those things. Do you remember how on the board we would do strengths and weaknesses of each approach? So she's just taken those and she's bullet pointed them. So you can go back to your notes and you can do the same. And I like the way that she has included here. Most of the experiments happen to be on animals, which have different sets of behaviors to people, and how she has referenced a particular case from the notes in the folder. So structuring these paragraphs, I know the pages look long. It looks like it looks like quite a bit of work, but it's actually in the structure that you will get some method, okay? And you'll be able to fill in your paragraphs if you put these headings in. The last thing I want to show you is how she does use examples that she knows. So reinforcement and punishment, okay? For example, not achieved for completing work, okay? Now, all of this, all of the notes that she's got in here, all of the things that she's written are in her own words, but I can see that nearly all the material has come from the sources in our folder or sources that she's looked at. You do not need to make anything up, okay? It's not creative writing. So use the information that you see in the exemplars, that you see on the resources in the folder, but you must write them in your own words. So I suggest you read some things, and then what you do is you make notes for yourself. Don't copy, make notes, and then start writing. So that's it for today on structure. I'm going to do another one on another part, which is the evaluation of the addiction, for those of you that have finished all three approaches.